ready. I can't wait to poop during the show.
Just do it in your trousers.
Trousers. I don't wear trousers. It's not 1930.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the stochastic.com MLB live before lock, not strategy show. Although fortunately we get the same time slot as we do usually. 12:10 Eastern, first pitch, Miami, Tampa Bay. You got 3 games in that 12 o'clock window, 1 in the 1 o'clock, and then 3 in the 2 o'clock. So pretty condensed here. These should be done by 5 o'clock or earlier.
Yeah,
So,
I'm pretty happy about the slate.
yeah, it's kind of nice. Anyway, how you doing? I'm Dave Loughran. That's Josh Engleman. What's good, brother?
I was about to cough. I don't know. Indifference. Got my prize picks card correct yesterday. Got one of my 3 home runs from the Odd Shopper live show. We got a home run out of Jared Kelenic. All 3 of my picks on yesterday's show were plus 520 at the time that I put the bet in. I love the synergy of all of that.
You got one? All right. Well, we'll get the 3.
Hey, that's very slight profit. 1 out of 3 is a success.
If you could grind, and this is not always going to happen. We know, like 100% not always going to happen. But if you could consistently hit the 1 of 3 until you finally get the 3, you'd be, I mean, that would
even
be,
just 2 is going to be massive.
Yeah, sure. But not like 3.
Oh, 3 is game changing. 3 is like $5,000 on $250 basically.
So what are you betting 3 singles plus a 3-leg parlay plus a round robin?
Yep.
And what are you doing? Like a $10 round robin or something?
10 on the triple, 20 a piece on all of the 2s, and then 50 a piece on the singles.
So the round robin's a $30 essentially investment.
Yeah.
Okay. 30 plus 20 on the parlay.
No, the round robin is 20, 20, 20.
Oh, you're doing $20 round robins. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
10
yeah.
for, 10 for all 3 individually.
And then 50 on singles, 20 on the parlay.
Yeah.
All right.
So far, so good. No complaints. There's going to be a day where we hit 2 of them, and that just pays for like 2 weeks.
Also, even hitting 1, if you're singling them, that's plus 520. That gets helpful for sure.
Yeah, that makes you neutral.
Happy to have you guys with us. Hey, take a single second, hit that thumbs up. Atone for your sins here Wednesday morning. Got some 7-game early action today. Subscribe to, you gotta take a dump.
No. I was just gonna say, we also got one on the show yesterday. We got Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, Bellinger. That was the one that you were very high on as well. How about the disappointment from that Minnesota Mets game from a scoring perspective? Like those teams both had high 4, low 5 even for the Mets totals, and it was just 0 offense. Festa crushed. Mania was great. That was a strange game.
It was very weird. Yesterday I didn't play the main. I ended up not playing the main. I was just hanging out, paying attention to it, checking out my bets and stuff, but weird slate.
Yeah. Well, today we got Chris Sale, we got Taj Bradley, Grayson Rodriguez, Freddie Peralta, Pablo Lopez, possibly the most unlucky pitcher in baseball this season. You don't believe me? Go look at some of these underlying numbers. Like the misfortune for Pablo Lopez this year has been pretty shocking.
It's been.
Are you pulling it up?
He's been just like a weird dude, man. Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Definitely.
And I haven't looked in a few weeks, but I know when I did, it was not good.
I don't feel like I've gotten him right once this year, and he's a guy that I feel like I've gotten right like most of my life, and then this year has just completely changed. I mean, his numbers in theory are the same.
That's
like
his
strikeout rate is all similar, his walk rate is similar, but I don't know, something just feels like he's had these blow up starts: 6 earned, 5 earned, 7 earned, 6 earned, 7 earned, 5 earned. Like he's had some, I mean, his last 3 starts, 19 Ks, 3 walks. He's only allowed 5 runs. Like maybe it got better, but it was Chicago, Milwaukee at home, Detroit, like not exactly a murderer's row.
No. He's been pretty unlucky though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last year he was better though, like barrel rate, hard hit rate, ground ball rate, that type of stuff. But you know, it could also just be like he pitches well and then misses. Like he's paying for every time he makes a mistake. You know, there's a lot of times where pitchers just get lucky, make mistakes, but they don't get tagged. They don't get punished for them every time. He's allowed 19 home runs this season.
He's always had a bit of a home run problem though. No.
Oh yeah, he's never been someone that doesn't allow power. But 19 long balls is pretty significant. Like last year, 1.1 home runs per nine. This year, 1.45.
Yeah, he allowed 24 last year, 21 the year before that.
He's on pace to eclipse that easily.
Yeah, he's on pace for 27.
Yeah.
26, somewhere in that neighborhood.
15% home run, the fly ball rate. I don't know. It's not the best matchup against the Mets anyway, but we'll get into it. Even, you know, you have Brady Singer against the White Sox too. There are some good spots out there. And then Nestor Cortez against the Phillies lineup that's in large part been ice cold lately. So where do you want to start?
I'm running my sim right now. I'm obviously going to have to run another one in like, 25 minutes or so when we get all of these lineups. Is Freddie Peralta the guy that we need to start with? Or is it Taj Bradley or is it Chris Sale? I mean, those three guys are all pulling 30 to 40% ownership. They're the clear top three arms on the slate. Who do you prefer?
We can happily start with Chris Sale just because it's Chris Sale and he's at the top of the pricing. Just remarkably consistent, elite strikeout stuff. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. It's just a matter of, is there enough good pitching on this slate to where Chris Sale isn't a necessity?
Well, my question is he the best option in his own game?
You think Peralta at, what's he priced at? I just lost it.
9K. He's 1,500 cheaper. And I would argue that this Braves team is worse than the Brewers, or at least a better strikeout matchup.
It is crazy right now that like we look at the Braves as an almost appealing matchup from a K
sort of. Yeah, I mean, like there's some strikeouts here. Like they obviously have a ton of power. The way that this goes wrong in this park that plays up power, like you can see the Braves capitalizing, but at the same time, I'm not so sure that I think that Freddie Peralta might be the better option.
The only thing that concerns me with a guy like Freddie Peralta is the inconsistency at times is startling. Like, you know, you got these 5 walk games, you got these spots where he just, like against the Dodgers, then against Washington, then against Miami, right? Like against Miami, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. That's his last start. And then mixed in between these, he just has these electric outings where he's unhittable. So I think just from a consistency standpoint, I do think Sale is the better, more reliable pitcher. I mean, Sale's been touched up, once? I mean, literally once all season. I think it was in that Athletic spot. The A's crushed him. He's been he did get beat up a bit by Miami, but he's still semi-salvaged because he struck out 7 and 7. But aside from that, like the guy is just insanely reliable every single time he goes out there.
I'm looking at Peralta now. He hasn't faced the Braves yet this year. I think that's helpful. It's not like he saw them a week ago or anything like that. So they're getting a fresh look at him. The run total looks good. I'm very intrigued by what the gap in my ownership ends up being. Like we have the stochastic projections have Sale by 1.5. I have Peralta by 0.5 point.
That's surprising.
I am high on Peralta's strikeouts though.
Yeah, that surprises me a bit.
It surprises me too.
I think the real question though is, I mean, we talk about Sale and Peralta. There are 3 pitchers on this slate with elite strikeout stuff. Taj Bradley can't be ignored in this spot. I mean, he has excellent strikeout stuff.
He might be the best option on the slate.
Well, ownership would suggest right now that he is on paper.
He looks fantastic. I mean, the Marlins are not good. They've shipped some bats out, as the Marlins tend to do.
Jazz
Three,
Chisholm, dude. Holy shit.
he's 4 home runs for the Yanks, right?
Yeah.
Insane.
Against
I mean,
good pitching, too.
this Marlins team has the lowest implied total on today's slate by a lot.
Listen to this. So it's not often, and I'm rounding up with Freddie Peralta's 29.5% K rate. It's not often in a 7-game set you have 3 guys that have 30+% K rates. Chris Sale, 32.7. Taj Bradley, 30%. Freddie Peralta, like I said, 29.5. We'll say 30 there. And then Pablo Lopez is at 28%. Grayson Rodriguez is 26.5% K rate. You have 5 guys, if you want to include Lopez and Rodriguez, with borderline elite or borderline elite strikeout stuff today.
Man, getting that one wrong is going to be so awful.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody's getting bombed.
Honestly, with this game being in Tampa Bay, I mean, sure, the Marlins park isn't bad either. I'd argue Tampa's probably a better pitcher park, but looking at this lineup right now for the Marlins,
they're terrible. Dude, I have a feeling I'm going to end up stacking them, which is the worst part of all of this.
Look at these are fake people.
Yeah, they're all creative players.
I think the average price, if you were to say stack all 9 of them, is like $3,000.
I mean, they only have 3 guys. Well, they have 4 guys over 3K. Xavier Edwards and Jake Berger are 38 and 36. I mean, they're the number 1 value team that we have.
Jesus Sanchez and Nick Gordon are 35 and 31.
Yeah. I have them 5th in value because I think they're that bad that they can't make up for it.
Right. Value isn't just, are they cheap? It's
right. Like, I think they're also bad.
You think they're bad? I mean,
hold on. They're definitely bad. I don't think that I'm holding an opinion here.
Well, you said, okay, I just want to clarify there. Is their total below 3?
I have it at 3.1.
Okay. What's the money line here? It's got to be
68% for the Rays is what I have.
Got to be like,
I don't have the line in front of me.
220, 245.
Right. There you go.
Minus 245.
And here's the weird thing, like 20% of the time Taj Bradley goes out there and gets bombed.
Yeah. However,
like that just happens.
However, what a fantastic spot.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I just have a ton of Taj Bradley and we call it a day. I'm not going to have one of these top guys. I don't know who that's going to be. I'm exporting my info right now to get an idea of like where I land. But I'm expecting to not have one of these 3 dudes.
I'm rerunning the Sims right now. We don't have all the lineups, but
I just pasted my stuff in. So I'm going to have my preliminary guess right now. And I assume I'm stacking one of these teams against one of the studs. And I shouldn't have to tell you how unappealing that feels.
Well, they're all very popular. There is that.
Yeah, they are. They are indeed. All right. Pasted. Not playing 150 today like I did last time.
Taj Bradley is objectively in the best spot. Got it.
All right. I'm fading Sale.
I'm not surprised by that at all at 10-5. That doesn't shock me at all.
No. So I have 12% of Sale, 56 of Bradley, 56 of Peralta.
Okay, so you're even on those 2 guys. What about Rodriguez? Because as good as he is, not a great strikeout. Probably the worst strikeout matchup of any of these guys up top.
I only have 4%. He's definitely like the easiest name to sleep on up there. Not a good strikeout matchup against the Blue Jays. Lots of guys that don't K a lot. Great matchup in general. They're massive, massive favorites here. He should be likely to get the win. I think that probably, I don't know the salaries, but that probably plays a little bit better on FanDuel than it does on DraftKings.
Yeah, 5.9 run total, 3.9 for Toronto. money line for the Blue Jay money line, hold on, is minus 230.
Yeah, they're big. Them and the Rays are both massive, massive, massive favorites. What time's lock? 20?
12:10.
Okay.
12:10. Yeah.
I will get Odd Shopper Live started the moment that I lock down my lineups. So we might be like 5 minutes late today.
What about if we were to dig a little bit deeper here on a Brady Singer or something like that? Because I know the matchup is good. Chicago, they're not good at all. We know that, but they're also not
No.
they're also not like Oakland strikeout rate either, or even close. They're just bad. And Brady Singer's a guy that has a 23% K rate, not bad. Really, everything he's done, like yeah, he has a 4.65 xERA, but 3.83 FIP. Most of his numbers has he outperformed? Is he overperforming? I think the answer is yes. But
Yeah.
he gets a lot of ground balls. He's been good enough. 10% swinging strike rate. I don't think Brady Singer is an 8K pitcher, but I think he's probably an 8K pitcher in the right matchup.
Yeah, he's pulling 20% ownership. The matchup against the White Sox is clearly fantastic. He's not the guy that I'm going to. I have 10%. I'm neutral to Lopez in this same range, but it's actually 20% of Nestor Cortez for me right now, which I can't lie is pretty scary here against the Phillies. But if you're going to be up against the Phillies, I'd rather be a lefty and negating Schwarber and Harper at least a little bit.
I don't actually think it's all that crazy. Nestor Cortez, I mean, the one thing about him in this spot, like it's still not a good park. He, I don't know if you want to, I don't know if you want to read into this at all, but just, indulge me for a second.
Okay.
I do oftentimes look at home and road splits for certain pitchers.
Sure.
These are one of the most probably defined home road splits of any pitcher this season.
Cortez.
Like yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, much, much, much worse on the road. Much worse.
It has been slightly different. 253 WOBA.
Yeah.
At home.
His whip is double.
A 388 WOBA on the road.
388 on the road?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's been an entirely different pitcher. And again, I don't know how much of that is just randomness, but also it's the hits. Like you look at, it's not homers. Also, he's made 11 starts in each, so it's not like, it's skewed one way or the other. He hasn't been able to pitch deep into road games. It's odd. It's really odd.
He's been a little unlucky, but like it's two completely different stat lines. I don't even know how to read into it.
Yeah, it's pretty startling.
The implied total on the Phillies doesn't make me feel good.
5-1. Wow.
Maybe we'll see that come down a little bit. No Real Muto or Turner.
No Real Muto or Turner is very helpful. Harper's been ice cold.
I think that's what's helping me here.
Especially two righties that are out of the lineup against Cortez.
Two good righties. And then it's still not that Schwarber and Harper aren't good lefties, but like this is what you're looking for.
I could probably get behind you on Cortez. I don't love it. I do think there's probably something to be said about those home road splits, just because they're so pronounced. But
hold on, was it like that last year?
I don't know.
Last year, he only threw 63 innings. Didn't have that same sort of problem. 334 on the road, 315 WOBA at home. 2 years ago when he threw 150 innings, he was lights out at home and really good on the road. But this is a little different. I'm going to assume that it's a little bit of noise.
I'm somehow getting I think there's some noise there, yes, but I don't know if it's all noise. I'm getting some Rodri Munoz, which is horrifying.
I have 6%.
It's not really the scariest lineup for Tampa Bay, if we're being honest.
No, the implied total is fine. I mean, there's enough strikeouts in the lineup for Tampa. That's really like you're looking for like one sign that makes a 6K pitcher be like, okay, I can see that path.
Exactly.
There's strikeouts in the Tampa lineup. I think that's all we could really say.
It is bizarre how much power this guy has allowed, though.
We're definitely not going to Espino, Thorpe, or McGreevy.
He's made 11 starts, and he's allowed multiple home runs in more than half of them.
That's probably not good.
He allowed 2-0-4, 2-0-3-3, 1-0-0-0, and then last game 3 home runs. Munoz is. Go ahead.
Maybe he got it out of his system with those 3. I don't know.
For a bit, maybe. I don't know. I don't feel great about it.
No, 6% is about as much as I would like to have.
Espino, McGreevy.
Yeah, those are no full no's.
Christopher Sanchez has been incredible at home, but I still just don't really feel like I don't feel like going there today. I don't. Guy has an elite ground ball rate, second highest in baseball behind only Framber Valdez. He has pitched, and I'll tell you every time he's on the mound because I'm amazed by this. 72 innings at home, 0 home runs. It's one of the craziest stats you'll ever
He's only given up 3 home runs in general. 230
Yes.
WOBA at home, 360 on the road.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't get it. He's also been bad on the road, but
yeah,
he doesn't give up power. He gets like 60-some% ground balls. It's nuts. His price is the only thing I'll say about Sanchez is that is a really cheap price point on a guy who has had some phenomenal starts all season.
He makes more sense on paper.
Agreed. But you look at it, he's had some really, really good starts. Some really good starts. It's just the matchup is truly brutal.
It is not good. This is the best offense on the slate.
What's that?
It's the best offense on the slate.
Yep. And it doesn't look like the Yankees are sitting anyone of note for this one.
No. Especially now with Chisholm in this lineup too.
It's crazy what he's doing. Yeah, I'm out on you may see that home run streak or homerless streak at home come to an end for Christopher Sanchez today.
Yeah, getting through this team isn't easy.
If he goes out there and mows them down and gives up no power, no home runs, that'll be another.
If this were in Yankee Stadium, he might be set up to give up a couple and really bring that back to neutral.
Say that again.
If this were in Yankee Stadium,
oh yeah,
and he were on the road, and he were pitching like his road stats, man, Cortez would be out there spinning the gem. Sanchez would be getting bombed. Now it's the opposite.
Who else is worth talking about here?
Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, half of my exposure is Bradley and Peralta. Everything else is Cortez, Lopez, Singer, and Sale.
I have a little bit of Andrew Heaney.
I have 6%.
For what it's worth, I do have 15% Christopher Sanchez right now.
Okay. I think so. I like that.
Yeah, I think so much of it just has to do with that price point. And he's 7% on. We haven't positively leveraged. Like you said, on paper, Christopher Sanchez is a pretty smart play.
I agree. Especially given some of the ownership coming into the Yankees. They're 5th overall. I like that appeal. I also have more Yankees than any other team. So, there's also that.
Severino is not appealing. Heaney, Drew Thorpe. McGreevy.
I'm stacking this game more than any other game. So I need one of these pitchers. Yankees, Phillies. So I need one of these pitchers to die.
You're stacking this one the most, huh?
Yeah. Well, either Sanchez regresses at home for the first time ever, or Cortez continues to pitch like he has on the road. I'll take either one of those outcomes.
I have a lot of Kansas City against Thorpe.
I have 10%. They are the most owned team right now. So the fact that I even have 10% is kind of interesting. I thought I was going to have a lot more Baltimore. I think they're just really expensive, and that makes it a lot more difficult to get to given the pitching.
Let me tell you a team that I'm a little bit surprised that I don't have.
Okay.
Only because this guy gets when he gets shelled, he gets shelled. We already talked about him.
Go ahead. Just the Mets?
Tampa.
Okay.
When Munoz gives up home runs, he gives them up in bunches.
I have 5% of the Rays right now. They're third in ownership. I think they're a little overowned.
Yeah,
I like it on paper, though. I mean, I have them 6th in top stack. We have them 11th. I'm on a very different plane than we are.
we're talking about a guy that has allowed 3+ home runs in 4 of 11 starts. That's
There's
pretty crazy.
certainly power in this Rays lineup, whether it's Brandon Lowe or Christopher Morel, Josh Lowe, Jose Siri, Alex Jackson, even as a catcher for 2,100. There's some pop here.
Yeah, they don't even have that high of a total, but
No,
again,
4.7 though, still not bad.
When he gets, no, it's not bad. When he gets lit up, he gets crushed.
He does.
Trying to see where else we're at here.
I mean, they're from a pitching perspective, I think it's pretty cut and dry.
From a stacks perspective, I don't know if it is though. Like for example,
No, I think you can go all over the place today for stacks.
and with Turner and Real Muto out of the lineup, specifically Turner, that stack does get cheaper. You still have Schwarber, Harper, 2 lefties, but Bohm, Castellanos, Sosa, Wilson, Hayes is batting 2nd today, so that's going to be. I mean, he's got to be ridiculously popular, whether or not, regardless of whether you're playing Yankee or Philly stacks.
He is ridiculously popular, and I have a ton of him.
Huge game yesterday for him. Huge game.
I'm gonna need him to carry that over to today because I didn't roster him yesterday. So
I assume you have loads of him today.
I have 30% of him.
Oh,
he's probably my most exposed hitter, if I had to guess. He's my 2nd most exposed hitter behind Gleyber Torres.
You really are stacking the shit out of this one, huh?
$3,500 second baseman hitting in the leadoff spot on the road is a really good recipe for being highly owned.
Yeah, leadoff on the road, 9th inning, they're hitting regardless.
Yeah, I mean, Gleyber Torres is the 3rd most owned guy on the slate, and Austin Hayes is 2nd.
Right now, I'll tell you what the Sims are giving me. I have 4 teams, 8 or higher percent. 8% or higher.
I have 5 teams at 8% or higher.
Okay. Kansas City.
Okay.
Then Baltimore.
Kansas City is one of mine.
Okay. Baltimore is not one of yours. It is one of mine.
I want them to be. They're my number 1 stack by a mile. I would give anything to have a lot more Baltimore.
Careful what you wish for, pal, because I'm getting some Roger Munoz, and my guess is that has a lot to do with it.
Probably does.
But I will say it makes me less concerned about having the Munoz exposure that I have, if that means that I'm getting semi-excessive amounts of Baltimore. Because if
I think they're the top offense today, and I don't think it's close.
Yeah. If he's just okay, like if I got 15 out of him, I think that'd be in a great spot.
You wouldn't be mad, that's for sure.
No. Well, a great spot, I'm saying, in the event that Baltimore does what, we hope they do.
Correct.
Philly, Minnesota, and then Texas at 7%.
So Philly is one of them for me. Minnesota is not. I only have 4% there, but I'm with you for the Phillies. The other 2 teams that I have, it's Yankees, Phillies, and it's Royals and Cardinals.
Royals, Cardinals. Okay, so we both have Royals. Cardinals against Heaney.
Yeah.
So Yankees.
A lot of righties at the top of the lineup. That helps. Easily stackable. First 5 guys in the Cardinals lineup. Shortstop, catcher, outfield, third, first.
I'm just getting a lot less Yankees than you are, I think.
Yeah, they're my number 1 exposed team right now. And honestly, I'm not a fan of it.
No?
No, just because like Christopher Sanchez has been so good at home. Like I feel like this is a tough spot, but at the same time, like if I'm gonna jam Torres, Judge, Stanton, and Volpe, I'm okay with that. Those guys have
As
real power. I'm hitting two real positions. Two of those guys are in the mid 3Ks. And then the other two guys, one of the guys that I mentioned is Aaron Judge, who needs no explanation.
has Adam had to go to the doctors yet for priapism since Jackson Holiday was recalled?
What's priapism?
Oh, an erection lasting longer than I believe 3 hours.
I don't know. We'll have to keep tabs on him.
I saw him going back and forth with people the other day because he was saying
People were dumb. People are dumb. People are thinking that it's going to be Jackson Holiday plus like multiple other prospects to get somebody. They wouldn't trade Jackson Holiday alone.
Adam was saying that he has Trout ceiling, and other people were saying he does. You know, it's you can say whatever you want on either side when we don't know. It doesn't really matter. But yes, it's I don't know. Either way, he's batting in the 8-hole. My guess is that I'm gonna have trying to see like, okay, let me do this. So if we're this should be helpful to you guys, and I'll use the Sims exposure here. We'll lean on the tools as always. Week or month, whatever you want. Link in the description and in chat. You want to use the lineup generator, the Sims, ownership, top stacks, top pitchers tool, top hitters tool, player projections. Anything I'm missing is there. You'll see it for a week, month. Check it out. You're going to make better lineups as a result, hands down, unquestionably. And when Jordan and I record the Hall of Fame segment coming up, you'll see exactly what I mean by that. How many Ring of Honor winners do we have for this week, Jordan? Like 5? That's 20,000 plus. 5? Yeah, 5 of them, Josh. Rocking the avatar, $20,000 plus.
I'm going to get mine today.
I hope you do, man. I hope you do.
So do I.
But if nothing else, use the avatar, stochastic.com/HOF. Just download one of those nice, beautiful, sweet 6 avatars, whichever one you like most. Use it wherever it is you play. Finish top 3 in a field of 5,000 or more. Just tweet your wins to us at stochastic.HOF. Maybe a nice message attached to that as well. First time winner, you get a free month. Any subscription, any package you want, $200 value. Second time you win, within a calendar year, free month plus a week of any additional sport. Third time, $550 value, all access month, Sims all access. That means what it means is everything on the site. And then there's a lot more cool stuff down there. Go to stochastic.com/HOF. Check it out. Download the avatar. You won't regret it. There's nothing to lose, just a ton to gain. But if I'm talking to you, Josh, about pitcher exposures and what cheap options I'm getting to in order to accommodate, say Orioles stacks, it would be Munoz and Christopher Sanchez and a little bit of Andrew Heaney, 13%. Those would be the 3 guys.
I think they're the only options.
I agree. I have 1% Severino, 0.7% Thorpe, 4% Nestor Cortez. Not to say he's dirt cheap, but he's pretty much there with Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah.
It's Sanchez and Munoz for the most part. And like I said, 13% Andrew Heaney, which I don't think is all that bad if Baltimore does what you need them to do.
No, it's one of the two. Like, if you're going to be getting more of Munoz and Heaney and Sanchez, then you're going to be able to get to these more expensive offenses. It's a push and a pull. It's the reason I'm not getting to Baltimore, because I don't have nearly as much of those bottom guys. You're either going one way or the other, and you're seeing what that path can be based on salary.
What do your pitcher combos look like?
That's a good question that I don't really know an answer to.
I would just be very curious to see if they are.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of Bradley Peralta at the very least, since they're in 100% of my lineups, but I don't have the combos right now.
Okay.
But I mean, look, I can tell you this much. 172% of my exposure is Cortez, Singer, Lopez, Peralta, Bradley, Sale. It's all the top. So it's just those guys in different orders.
That makes sense.
I only have 24% of Severino, Sanchez, Heaney, and Munoz. It's very limited.
Wow, so your exposure is super concentrated.
I'm fully at the top, and I'm paying down for offense.
I can see that. All right.
I was really hoping we'd get one or two more lineups here. I gotta start running this shit in the next minute or two. Because I have so much of the Cardinals, I was really preferring to have that lineup.
Any other spot? Let's talk about some other bats here as well.
Okay.
If there's anything else you find interesting for a slate like this, specifically looking at like, all right, just to go off the board a little bit here. And if you guys have questions, hit us with them in chat. Always happy to answer them. Always willing to do so. Let's see here if I missed anything.
I mean, I think the Cardinals are getting slept on. I mean, they're fourth in ownership at 10%. We haven't really talked about him, but Heaney's given up 201 x ISO to righties over the last year and a half. Basically the same for just this year. So whether that's Wynn, Contreras, Pham, Arenado, Goldschmidt, that first five for St. Louis looks really good. By the way, shortstop, catcher, outfield, third, first. Stack's easy too.
Where would you look towards a White Sox today?
I don't think so. I mean, I have 7%. And the ownership against Singer is interesting. They're just so bad. They're fine. I'm going to be neutral to them.
Yeah.
The less I say about, I don't want to sound like I'm advocating for the White Sox because they're the White Sox. No one will take me seriously.
Are there any teams you're getting none of?
Basically, a few. I essentially don't have the Marlins. Fine. I'm also very light on the Mets, Brewers, and Twins, and Blue Jays. They're all 4% or less for me.
We had a question from Jake. How is Bradley at stolen base prevention? Xavier Edwards is on a heater.
I am not sure. It's not something that I look at.
I'm looking at it on Baseball Savant right now.
Okay.
Seems
Yeah, it's not something that I make adjustments for. Like whatever I have Edwards projected for stolen bases is how that gets carried out.
seems like he's been pretty good.
Even better. It's so weird to think about teams like the White Sox where you know they suck, but yet even the worst team is still going to win like 40 games each year. And 20 games they're going to score like 9 runs.
That's what I was gonna say. There's
8
some
runs.
yeah. There's some games where they go off. But also
That's what's so weird. It's so weird about that's why baseball is so different.
I don't know if you mentioned this. Somebody did in chat too, though. No Luis Robert in the lineup either.
Yeah, it probably doesn't help to take your only good hitter out of the lineup.
Makes Brady Singer look a little bit better, but
It does. It does. I'm about to rerun all of my stuff right now.
probably would have looked good regardless, for being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to have, somewhere in that 10 to 20% range of Singer.
What lineups are we waiting on right now? Texas, St. Louis, we didn't get those yet, or Milwaukee?
Correct.
Okay. Chance said Brewers lineup is really bad. Did it come out?
I didn't see
Yep.
it. Oh,
Yep,
yeah, it is.
did. We got it.
Just came out. That'll save me some time. Churio. Okay, so no Terang. No Contreras either.
Yeah. No Contreras is big.
Yeah.
That is that's why when we're talking about this stuff on these early live before lock shows, you got to be really careful what type of stands you take until you start getting these lineups, because any team that, you have a Wednesday live before lock on the early slate, that means that every single team played the day before.
Yeah.
And it was a Tuesday, which means almost all of them played at night. It's different for Thursdays and Wednesdays and stuff like that. You get day game, whatever. But all of these teams are playing at night the night before. You're looking at a lot of watered down lineups today. Philly being one of them, Milwaukee being one of them now. It's going to make pitching options that looked maybe okay look quite a bit better. And I think this is just even more helpful for Chris Sale now.
Yeah, I'm updating the lineup right now. I have a sneaky suspicion he's going to look a lot better because that lineup is very different.
Very. What's the Brewers run total? 3.7.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if that drops to like 3.5.
I was gonna say 3.5 too. Yeah, I think that probably is where you get it, where it closes.
Yeah.
And remember, Yelich is already on the IL. So you have what? No Terang, you have no Contreras, and you have no Yelich.
It's a thin lineup, dude. As I'm looking at it right now, it is not good.
No. Yeah, Sale just looks better now. For sure.
Like a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have the Brewers lineup in. I would really like to give this another minute or two on the line to see if it moves at all.
Yeah, the good news is we still have 25 minutes until lock.
We do. We have some time. I'm probably just going to get it started now.
Yeah, we can take
And
some questions for you guys from
yeah,
you guys if you like, because I think I'd like to say we did this pretty efficiently today.
I think it's like for the hitting side of it, it's really a mixed bag. And then pitching is just super simple to talk about right now.
Pitching's very simple. Sale looks better now for sure. Uh, I'd say Singer looks better without Luis Robert. I know it's only one bat, but that's already such a bad team. Taj
Yeah.
Bradley looks great. Freddie Peralta looks good as well on the other side of that Sale game. Um, Pablo Lopez concerns me in a spot like this. I do think he's been unlucky. He has been a lot better lately. His price is probably below his skill level. But I'm not in love with that spot. I'm not in love with Grayson Rodriguez, although again, it's a good spot, Josh. It's just what type of sacrifices do you have to make to get over the field on Grayson Rodriguez? The answer is Taj Bradley, Chris Sale, and Freddie Peralta in some fashion.
I don't like this slate. I'm very nervous.
I kind of do like it.
I have so much of the Yankees and Phillies, and I'm just like super not confident in that game right now.
I have very little Yankees. I do have a decent amount of Phillies, but what worries me is the fact that I'm getting the Christopher Sanchez and Rodri Munoz and Andrew Heaney. That would be my biggest concern.
Oh yeah, that's a concern to you?
Yeah,
Those
a little
guys?
bit.
I can see that.
It goes both ways though, because you're going to be getting to some ugly teams as far as stacks.
That is a very true statement.
So it goes both ways.
All right, I'm about to get started here. Here goes nothing. And don't forget, Odd Shopper Live coming up next.
Be
Breaking
sure to
it all
check that
down.
out for sure.
Definitely going to build a home run parlay. Obviously, some of these games will be getting started at that point, and then we're going to find whatever value we can find for pick'em sites like Better, Sleeper, Prize Picks, Underdog, and more.
Marvin H, what am I missing with the Twins? I don't get why the Sims keep giving me them. I don't know. I'm going to rerun it again. They have a 4.5 implied total. It's not like they don't have a decent total today.
Severino on the opposite side is just a guy. He's been a lot better this year, but he doesn't strike anybody out. There's a lot of power in this Twins lineup. Royce Lewis, Matt Wallner, Byron Buxton, 2-3 or 3-4-5 is heavy power.
Rangers lineup is out as well.
Well, let's hope it matches whatever the hell it is. Smith, Seager, Semien, Langford, Garcia, Lowe, Young. So it's Kelly and Jankowski over Heim and Tavares. Since that's 8-9, I will handle those swaps at a later date.
You should handle the 50% match up to $250 on Underdog as well, especially if you are watching Josh's video, if you're building cards out, going through the pick'em sites. I know you
Yeah.
built some round robins and some homer parlays, but you're also looking at a lot of these pick'em sites using the odd shopper
Oh yeah.
tools. Phenomenal bonus. It goes straight into your account too. None of that nonsense where it drips in or whatever. Like whatever you put in, you're getting the bonus instantly into your account to use on whatever you want. I was doing best ball drafts yesterday. Very exciting stuff. God, it's fun. Some people shit on it. I won't even ask you because you're not a fan, but people who know
No.
that love football love it. But they've got them for everything. Daily drafts, pick them up to 20 extra money. They do these free squares a lot too, a ton of free squares. So link in the description and chat if you're not on Underdog yet. It's a great bonus. It's a great promo. And they have more offerings than really any site out there. Like they're quickly rivaling DraftKings for all of the different products, games that they offer.
They have so much stuff now.
Yeah. They do. They have a ton. They also, Nolan actually had hit me up the other day talking about the weekly winners contest they have. That is fun. Even you, because I know you're not big into the best ball, like doing it and then waiting. Even you might be able to get into something like that for like a basketball or a football where you're drafting your team in, draft form, but it lasts 1 week. So like once it's done, it's done. So you're just sweating it, except you drafted your team as you would for DFS. Or I'm sorry, as you would in fantasy, but you're sweating it as you would for DFS, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool mechanism. It's probably something that I should be a little bit more interested in.
You should. Damian, I like Singer, but he's probably going to be the highest owned. No, he won't. He won't be the highest owned. My guess is that Singer ends up being the 4th highest owned, behind Bradley, Sale, Peralta, and then Singer. Because there's still a little bit of sticker shock on that price point for Brady Singer. You're not getting them at 72. It's 8,200. That price, I think, is going to scare enough people off to where you're just not getting 25 or 30% Brady Singer. At least I don't think so, right? You don't think so, right?
What?
I'm saying that someone was saying they think Brady Singer will be the most popular. I'm saying it'll be 4th because at 8,200, that's still expensive enough to where you're not going to get loads of him.
He can't be any higher than 4th.
No. Right, exactly.
0% chance that he's ahead of Peralta, Bradley, or Sale. 4th is your
guys,
highest.
The Sims just updated. Contest generator Sims, we just updated projections and we updated ownership for those of you guys looking to load this up and get one more run in before we start this slate off. So good. We still have 20 minutes to go. I don't know if this accounted for that Rangers lineup, but
probably not.
I assume though that I definitely assume it accounted for this Milwaukee lineup.
And it's the 8-9 hitters for Texas, so
right. The Milwaukee one is a lot.
Getting those guys a lot to begin with.
Yeah. Milwaukee one's a lot more important to me.
Oh. Yeah, I've got all my stuff running now. I updated for the Rangers game. So the only game that I don't have a lineup for is the Cardinals, which is a little concerning given the fact that the Cardinals were a team that I was getting to, but that's what late swap's for.
And guess what? We have the late swap tool.
We do.
Where you literally just plug your lineup in.
Helps a lot.
Plug it in, click 2 buttons, and get the lineups. We updated so not Texas yet, which I'm not surprised.
No, it can't be immediate.
Did we update for Milwaukee?
Oh, I'm very curious where we're going to end up here.
Yep, we updated for Milwaukee. That's good.
There you go. I wish I would get more Baltimore, but I know I'm not going to. It's kind of a shame.
That's the pit. You're dealing with the pitching now.
Yeah, it's so bleak at the bottom.
Dealing with expensive pitching. That's what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to have to make concessions one way or another.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
No. And if your concessions happen to be in the form of stacks, you'll get to all the expensive pitchers.
Now I just need to cheer against Chris Sale. That should be a real fun time.
So wait, even with updated Milwaukee lineup, you're still getting no Sale?
My assumption is that I'm going to be lightest on sale.
Okay.
Although I will say, so prior to the update, this is an interesting thing for what that Brewers lineup ends up looking like. Heading into the show, I had Peralta at 22. I had Sale at 21.5. Now I have Sale at 22.4. So he's passed Peralta. Peralta's at 22.2. So I gained like an extra 1.5 on Chris Sale from that lineup.
Wow.
Maybe that changes it.
Maybe, yeah, okay.
It could. I'm not sure. Maybe I end up having like 40% of all three of them.
An extra 1.5 on Sale?
Yeah. Just from changing that lineup.
Probably does change something.
I think it's going to be a really big. I've Sale, Bradley, and Peralta now at 22.4, 22.5, and 22.2.
God, they're all right. The only difference is that Sale's price point is much above those guys.
And I think that's what's going to keep him down still. I think I'm going to go from like having 10 or whatever I had of him to like 20.
Wookie said Jazz Chisholm home run pick ?
Yep.
I don't know. Immovable force against the unstoppable object.
He just keeps homering.
I'm talking about like you got a guy that's pitched 72 innings at home that hasn't allowed a home run, and you have Jazz Chisholm who's as hot as ever since coming to the Yankees. Yeah. That should be fun.
Homered 4 times in 2 days.
That should be. Is it 4 times in 2 days?
I think it is, but I could be wrong. But he's definitely hit 4 home runs. He's definitely hit 2 twice. I think it's the only 2 games, but I could be wrong.
Anything else before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Odd Shopper Live coming up next on the Odd Shopper YouTube channel.
Yeah, come check it out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. As always, follow Josh at Josh Engleman, me at Laffy_D on X. Shout out to Jordan for producing. We got live before lock tonight, smaller slate, but it's happening. Tomorrow's slate stinks. It's, I think, all games at night, starts at 6:40. 5 games or something. It's like 4 or 5 games. First pitch at 6:40.
No, tomorrow. Oh, that's Friday. Oh yeah, tomorrow is awful. 5 games.
Yeah, tomorrow's pretty rough. All night games, no early slate. So you and I will be on the standard strategy show, which is surprising for a Thursday.
That'll be a gem.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys though. Thanks for hanging out, supporting the show. Good luck today. Hit us with those wins, rocking that stochastic avatar, man. Make it worthwhile. Shit, you could win $60 on like the nickel and still get the $200 one. We just had a guy do that, got the gold tier and got the all access monthly. So it doesn't matter where you're playing.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're playing. But I'll answer this before we go. Wookie said Laffy has to get his golf Olympics lineup right. I didn't even know they were doing that, honestly.
I didn't know there was golf Olympics.
I know that USA is a 31-point favorite against South Sudan today.
Yeah, I don't watch any of this stuff.
No, NBA or basketball.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Really? Why not? So fun.
I'll watch the elimination games, but I don't give a shit about this stuff.
Of course you wouldn't, because it's like, you know, patriotism and shit. You're probably rooting for Serbia or some shit.
What, I mean, why would what do I give a shit about the United States?
God, I hate you sometimes.
I told you I'd watch the elimination games, but like, why would I watch the United States beat South Sudan by 30?
What if they don't? That game against Serbia was so fun to watch. LeBron was dominant.
Yeah, he's good.
KD was 8 for 8 in the first half.
I don't care at all about the Olympics.
I bet if I get that 19-foot Chinese lady that plays basketball in the Olympics in the next 4 years, you'd be watching.
No,
I can't entice you with that.
If she's gonna make a video, it's not gonna be basketball for me.
Yeah, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow on the strategy show. Thanks for watching. Later.